Today's our topic is theories of capital structure. Various theories have been propounded by experts to achieve of getting an optimum capital structure. And these theories are first net income approach, second net operating income approach, third approach, and fourth is traditional approach. Net income approach. Net income approach was suggested by David Durand. According to approach, the capital structure decision is relevant to the valuation of firm. It means change in capital structure of a company will affect the market value and overall cost of capital. According to this approach, overall cost of capital will decrease and the value of firm as well as the market price of its shares will increase if the amount of equity is decreased by the issue of debentures, bonds, etc. to equity shareholders. The net income approach is based on the following assumption. First is there is no corporate tax. Second, cost of debt is less than cost of equity. Third is risk perception of investors is not changed by the use of debt. How to find the value of firm under net income approach? First we calculate market value of equity, which is denoted by S, and we add market value of debt into the market value of equity. We will get the amount of value of firm, where market value of equity is equals to earning available for equity shareholders divided by capitalization rate multiplied by 100. And we can calculate weighted average cost of capital or overall cost of capital is equals to earning before interest and tax divided by value of firm and multiplied by 100. Net operating income approach. Net operating income approach was also suggested by David Durand. This approach is just opposite of net income approach. According to this approach, the capital structure decision of a firm is irrelevant because any change in capital structure will not lead to any change in the total value of firm and overall cost of capital. Under this approach, it is assumed that there is nothing like an optimum capital structure and every capital structure is the optimum capital structure. It implies that whether the debt equity ratio 50-50 or 25:75 or 75:25 or there is 100% equity or 100% debt, the overall cost of capital remains the same. Net operating income approach is based on the following assumptions. The first, capitalization rate is constant. Capitalization between debt and equity is not significant. There is no corporate tax. And last is the cost of debt capital is constant. How to find value of firm under net operating income approach? The value of firm is equals to earning before interest and tax divided by overall cost of capital, where overall cost of capital is equals to cost of debt multiplied by value of debt divided by value of firm plus cost of equity multiplied by value of equity divided by value of firm. A Limited is expecting an annual EBIT of 10 lakh rupees. The company has 40 lakh rupees in 10% debentures. The equity capitalization rate is 12.5%. The company decides to raise 10 lakh rupees by issue of 10% debentures and use of proceeds thereof to buy back and cancel the equity shares. You are required to calculate first the total value of firm, second the overall cost of capital before and after issue of fresh debentures for redeeming equity shares. So we have to calculate value of firm as well as overall cost of capital under two situations. First is before issue of fresh debentures, second category is after issue of fresh debentures. First of all, we calculate market value of equity shares, then we add market value of equity shares is denoted by S, then we add market value of debentures. After adding these two, we will get value of firm. The market value of equity is calculated as equity is equals to earning available for equity shareholders divided by capitalization rate and multiplied by 100. So we have two conditions. The first is before issue of fresh debentures, second is after issue of fresh debentures. First of all, we will calculate market value of equity shares for before issue of fresh debentures. Under this condition, before issue of we know the capitalization rate, that is 12.5 multiplied by 100. We'll find earning available for equity shareholders in under this condition. We are given EBIT, which is 10 lakh rupees. We will deduct interest, and we have 40 lakh rupees existing debentures, of which 10% interest is to be charged. So interest will be 10% of 40 lakh, that is 4 lakh. After deducting it, we'll get EBIT, we'll get EBT, that is earning before tax. As we know, under net income approach there is no corporate tax, so earning before tax will also be considered as earning after tax. After deducting preference dividend, we'll less preference dividend. As it is clearly given that there is no preference shares, so we will not charge any preference dividend. So this amount of 6 lakh rupees will be termed as earning available for equity shareholders. We got the amount of earning available for equity shareholders 6 lakh rupees divided by 12.5 multiplied by 100, and we will get an amount of 48 lakh rupees. So before issue of fresh debentures, the value of equity shares, that is S, will be 48 lakh rupees. We'll put this 48 lakh rupees here, and market value of debentures, which is denoted by B, it refers to the value of debentures in the capital structure. And before issue of fresh debentures, existing debentures we are having of 40 lakh rupees. After adding these two, we'll get 88 lakh rupees. So value of firm when before issue of fresh debentures will be 88 lakh rupees. Now we will calculate after issue of fresh debentures. We have to calculate market value of equity shares, but we are given market value of debentures 40 lakh rupees existing debentures and 10 lakh rupees new debentures which are to be issued by the company. So the market value of debentures will be 50 lakh rupees. We will calculate market value of equity shares for the situation after issue of fresh debentures. After issue of fresh debentures, condition 2, S is equals to, we are not given earning available for equity shares, but we are given capitalization rate, that is 12.5% multiplied by 100. We will calculate earning available for equity shareholders, which will be calculated as EBIT. We are given 10 lakh rupees, with less interest. Existing debentures are 40 lakh rupees plus fresh debentures 10 lakh rupees, and both are at the rate of 10%. So interest will be 5 lakh rupees. After deducting 5 lakh rupees from 10 lakh, we'll get 5 lakh rupees of earning before tax. We know there is no corporate tax under net income approach, so directly we will deduct preference dividend, and here we are not given any preference shares, so the preference dividend will also not be deducted here. So this 5 lakh rupees will be earning available for equity shareholders. So the earning available for equity shareholders, that is 5 lakh rupees, will put here and getting the amount by solving it, and it will be 40 lakh rupees. So we will put this market value of equity shares in the second condition. Here 40 lakh. By adding these two, we'll get the market value of firm, that will be 90 lakh rupees. So after evaluating these two, the value of firm, we know the net income approach is relevant to the capital structure decision. It means when we change the capital structure, there will be change in the market value of firm as well as the overall cost of capital. So we have seen that the value of firm is different under these two conditions. Now we will calculate the overall cost of capital under these two conditions. We know the overall cost of capital is equals to that is KO is equals to earning before interest and tax divided by value of firm multiplied by 100. Now under first condition, before issue of fresh debentures, EBIT we are given 10 lakh rupees, value of firm we calculated 88 lakh rupees and multiplied by 100, we will get 11.36%. Now for second condition, after issue of fresh debentures, the EBIT is same for the both conditions, 10 lakh. Value of firm we calculated for after issue of fresh debentures and it was 90 lakh. Multiplied by 100. After solving it, the value will be 11.11%. So you can clearly see that I have told you the overall cost of capital as well as market value of firm will be different when we change the capital structure. There was a change in the value of firm. When we calculate the value of firm before issue of fresh debentures, it was 88 lakh rupees, and when we calculate value of firm after issue of fresh debentures, it was 90 lakh rupees. Under these both conditions, the value of firm was different, and here the overall cost of capital is also different. Under these two conditions, before after issue of fresh debentures, it is 11.36%, and after issue of fresh debentures, it is 11.11%. X Limited has an EBIT of 10 lakh rupees. The company has 40 lakh rupees in 10% debentures. The overall capitalization rate is 12.5%. The company decides to raise a sum of 10 lakh rupees through debt at 10% and uses the proceeds to pay off equity shareholders. Calculate total value of firm and the equity capitalization rate and prove that overall cost of capital remains unaffected by the change in debt equity mix. Let us calculate the value of firm under two conditions. Before issue of fresh debentures and second is after issue of fresh debentures. We know the value of firm V is equals to EBIT, that is earning before interest and tax, divided by overall capitalization rate and multiplied by 100. EBIT we are given 10 lakh rupees under both conditions, and capitalization rate is 12.5% multiplied by 100. We'll get 80 lakh rupees. For the condition after issue of fresh debentures, the EBIT is also 10 lakh rupees for this condition. Capitalization rate is also 12.5% multiplied by 100. After solving it, we'll get 80 lakh rupees. So, as the definition says, under net operating income approach, the value of firm remains unaffected by the change in debt equity mix or change in capital structure. We can see under both these conditions, the value of firm is still 80 lakh rupees. Now we have to calculate the other thing, and that is equity capitalization rate. And the formula is earning available for equity shareholders divided by value of equity shares and whole multiplied by 100, and it is denoted by KE. So for first condition, before issue of fresh debentures, we are not given earning available for equity shareholders. We will calculate. I have earlier told you how to calculate earning available for equity shareholders. And the value of equity shares, we are not also given this value. We will calculate both of these. We are given EBIT 10 lakh rupees. We will deduct interest for before issue of debentures. In existing capital structure, we are given 40 lakh rupees debentures at the rate of 10% interest charges. So the interest will be 4 lakh rupees. After deducting it, 6 lakh rupees will be EBT, that is earning before tax. And we know there is no tax rate in this approach also. So after deducting preference dividend from the EBT, directly we will deduct preference dividend from EBT. Then we will receive the earning available for equity shareholders. So in this question, the preference shares are not given, so preference dividend will also be nil. The amount 6 lakh rupees will be earning available for equity shareholders. Now we got the amount of earning available for equity shareholders 6 lakh. Now we have to calculate the value of equity shares. As we know, V is equals to S plus B. Value of firm, S means value of equity shares, B means value of debentures. Value of firm, we have calculated 80 lakh rupees. S, value of equity shares, we don't know, but value of debentures we are given. We are having 40 lakh rupees debentures. We are calculating for before issue of fresh debentures. So we are given in the question 40 lakh rupees debentures. So 40 lakh will be our value of debentures. After solving it, we will get S is equals to 40 lakh. We will solve it, and the answer is 15%. Now for second condition, after issue of fresh debentures, we know capitalization rate is equals to earning available for equity shareholders divided by value of firm multiply by 100. We are not given any of the two values, so we will find first of all earning available for equity shareholders. EBIT we are given 10 lakh rupees less interest 40 lakh rupees we are having existing debentures plus 10 lakh rupees we have issued fresh debentures at the rate of 10%, so we'll get 5 lakh rupees interest. After deducting we'll get EBT 5 lakh rupees. As per the assumption of net operating income approach, there is no tax rate, so we will not less tax, but we directly less here preference dividend, which is nil. Why it is nil? Because there is no preference shares in the question. So we will receive 5 lakh rupees earning available for equity shareholders. Now we will calculate here the value of debts. We know value of firm is equals to value of equity shares plus value of debts. Value of firm we have calculated 80 lakh rupees s plus value of debts we are given 50 lakh rupees. Why it is 50 lakh rupees? That is 40 lakh rupees existing debentures plus 10 lakh rupees new debentures, so it will be 50 lakh rupees. So the value of S will be 30 lakh. Now putting the earning available for equity shareholders here, divided by value of equity shares multiplied by 100, we will get 16.67%. Now as per the requirement of question, we have to verify the overall cost of capital. And we know overall cost of capital is equals to KO is equals to cost of debts into value of debts divided by value of firm plus cost of equity into value of equity divided by value of firm. For first condition, before issue of fresh debentures, the overall cost of capital will be, the cost of debts is 10%, value of debts is 40 lakh rupees divided by value of firm 80 lakh plus cost of equity we have calculated 15%, value of equity is 40 lakh rupees divided by value of firm is 80 lakh. By solving it, it is 5% and it is 7.5. So the overall cost of capital will be 12.5%. For second condition, after issue of fresh debentures, overall cost of capital is equals to cost of debts we are given 10%, value of debentures we are given 50 lakh rupees divided by value of equity divided by value of firm 80 lakh rupees plus value of equity we have calculated 16.67% and value of equity is 30 lakh divided by value of firm is 80 lakh. By solving this, it is 6.25 plus it is also 6.25. You'll get 12.5%. So it is clearly that under the net operating income approach, as per the definition, the value of firm as well as overall cost of capital remains unchanged whether you change your capital structure. Next is Modigliani-Miller approach, or we can say approach. Like net operating income approach, approach is also irrelevant approach. However, there is one basic difference between two. The net operating income approach is purely conceptual and does not provide operational justification for the irrelevance of the capital structure. On the other hand, approach provides analytical sound and logically consistent behavioral justification for their hypothesis. Let's talk about assumptions of approach. So, following are the assumptions of approach. The first is perfect capital market. Second is business risk is equal among all the firms within similar operating environment. 100% dividend payout ratio. Next is no taxes, and the last is cutoff point of an investment is capitalization rate. The following information is available about X Limited. Net operating income 6 lakh rupees, tax rate 40%, debt capital 8 lakh rupees, interest on debt capital 8%, capitalization rate for an all equity company is 12.5%. Calculate the value of firm according to model. So we have to calculate the value of firm under approach. So the formula is VL is equals to VU plus B into T. VL value of levered firm, VU value of unlevered firm, B value of debt, T corporate tax rate. We don't know the value of unlevered firm, but we know the value of debt, and it is debt capital in the question is 8 lakh rupees multiplied by tax rate, and tax rate is 40%, 0.4. Now we will calculate value of unlevered firm, and we can calculate the value of unlevered firm as VU is equals to EBIT, earning before interest and tax, multiply 1 minus tax rate divided by capitalization rate. In the question, earning before interest and tax, it is also known as operating income. So net operating income is 6 lakh rupees, multiply 1 minus tax rate is 40%, 0.4, divided by capitalization rate, and it is 12.5%, 0.125. By solving it, we will get an amount 28,80,000. Putting the value of unlevered firm 28,80,000 to calculate value of levered firm. By solving it, 28,80,000 plus 3,20,000. We will get the value of levered firm. We will get rupees 32 lakh, and it is the value of levered firm, or we can say value of firm. The last approach of theories of capital structure is traditional approach. Traditional approach is comprised between net income approach and net operating income approach. As per this approach, the optimum capital structure can be obtained by judicious debt equity mix. The value of firm can be increased or cost of capital can be decreased by increasing debt content of capital structure, as debt is a cheaper source of funds than equity.